1001 Nights. Episode 1. The Fall of King Shahryar. The tale of 1001 Nights did not begin on the night Shahrazad entered the palace. It began many years earlier. There was a time when King Shahryar was known not through fear, but through the love of his people. At sunrise, the kingdom awakened with life. The markets filled with merchants, marble fountains shimmered beneath the golden light, and the laughter of children echoed through every street. At the heart of the kingdom stood a magnificent palace crowned with golden domes. Every morning, King Shahryar took his place in the Hall of Justice, listening to the voices of his people before attending to anything else. To him, the crown was never a symbol of power. It was a symbol of responsibility.
One day, an elderly man came seeking justice. Shahryar listened patiently and restored what had been taken from him. With tears in his eyes, the old man bent to kiss the king's hand, but Shahryar gently lifted him to his feet and said, "A king is worthy only when his people live with dignity, not with fear."
Word of his kindness spread quickly through the markets. The people spoke proudly of their just king. As evening fell, Shahryar would stand upon the palace balcony, watching over his beloved city. Moments later, the queen would quietly join him. Their hands would meet as they gazed together at the lights of the kingdom below. Neither of them knew that this would be the last peaceful chapter of their lives. Several weeks later, the king left the palace to inspect the distant borders of his realm. When he returned, the sky was no longer blue. Dark clouds gathered above the palace, and relentless rain washed across its marble walls. Without hesitation, Shahryar entered the silent halls. As he walked through the endless corridors, he heard something. Laughter. A sound that should never have echoed through that part of the palace. His footsteps slowed. Ahead stood a half-open door. He placed his hand upon the handle. His breathing grew heavy. Slowly, he pushed the door open. And in that single moment, everything inside him shattered. What he witnessed destroyed the trust he had treasured all his life. From that night onward, no one ever saw King Shahryar smile again. The ruler, once celebrated for his justice, withdrew into silence. Days later, a royal decree spread terror throughout the kingdom. From that day forward, every night a young bride would marry the king, and before sunrise, she would lose her life. Joy vanished from the land. Laughter disappeared. Mothers hid their daughters. And every heart whispered the same desperate question: who can bring this nightmare to an end? Far away from the palace, in a quiet house filled with ancient books, a young woman spent her days among forgotten stories. She believed that sometimes a single story could accomplish what 1,000 swords never could. Her name was Shahrazad. She did not yet know that destiny was about to make her the storyteller who would change the fate of a kingdom forever.